Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day. In this video I will go over my current Atlas tree. I went over it previously in an Alch and God video, but this video will show the Atlas tree in a bit more optimized way with Scarabs and map optimization. The idea however stays the same. The main focus is to get Elderslayer / Guardian or synthesized maps to farm, bosses and invitations. So you will have a lot of variety built into this tree. I also put points into the new league mechanic, shrines, scarabs, ghosts, etc. The idea here is not to make the most vine orbs per hour, but rather to get a high amount of maps that will allow you to farm bosses in the end, such as the Elder, Cirrus, Uber Elder, Maven, etc. You will kill a lot of bosses with this rotation. If you do not intend to use these Guardian maps, however, you can also just sell them for a decent amount of currency. So let's go over the tree. I spec into shrines. Shrines are pretty good this league, I must say. Also like shrines in the previous leagues, but this league is really good. So supplications to guarantee a shrine. Drawn to power, shrines in your maps have 50% chance to be guarded by an additional pack of monsters. Very nice. And we guarantee at least one magic pack. Syncretism, 30% increased effect of shrine buffs on players on your maps. And we guarantee a random additional shrine effect, which is pretty great. And the next mechanic, it's not directly a mechanic, but I spec into Scarabs, skittering swarms, increased Scarabs found in your maps. Remarkable relics, Scarabs found in your maps are more likely to be less common varieties. Cheering champions, find a map boss in each map has 25% chance to drop an additional Scarab. We kill the boss anyway, because in the end we want to get the maps from the bosses. So this is a pretty good note. And amplified artifacts, rare monsters in your maps have 50% increased chance to drop Scarabs per monster modifier affecting them. Plus significant troves, unique monsters in your maps have 200% increased chance to drop Scarabs. The necropolis nodes that I decided to spec into are Geminite Haunting. Haunted monsters with unresolved anguish in your maps have 25% chance to leave an additional corpse. I personally like the elite mechanic, so I wanted to increase the chance to get a decent amount of corpses so that I always have enough corpses to craft, and this node definitely helps you with that. An honest job, gain Gravekeeper's Boon on collecting a corpse in your maps. Gravekeeper's Boon causes you to consume a nearby corpse every second to recover 10% of life and mana for 30 seconds. This will increase our survivability by a significant amount. And then I spec into Decisive Swords. Corpses in your maps have 100% increased chance to have meta modifier crafting outcomes. That is very nice. And condensed swords, corpses in your maps have 25% increased chance to have meta modifier tier rating crafting outcomes. I personally think tier rating crafting outcomes is one of the most important orbs that you can have when you want to craft, because it eliminates all the bad rolls that you can get on your items. And the last necropolis node that I spec into is Eternal Torment. Haunted pack leaders in your maps have 50% increased chance to be rare and 50% chance to spawn a tormented spirit when you collect a corpse in your maps, which harmonizes well with the torment nodes. Unrelenting Torment, map bosses have 10% chance to be surrounded by tormented spirits, 30% more quantity of items dropped by possessed monsters in your maps. And I of course spec into Speak of the Dead. Tormented spirits in your maps can possess players for 20 seconds. Tormented spirits in your maps cannot possess monsters. This is a really nice node in combination with this node, so it definitely makes sense. And of course I take Seance. Up to 5 rare monsters in each of your maps are possessed and their minions are touched. Just add some free quantity. We will not use a Torment Scarab for this, but it's just a nice addition of quantity in general. And for the boss nodes, I did go for Conquered Conquerors. Map bosses have 100% increased chance to drop a Conqueror map. Remnants of the Past, final map boss in each map has 3% chance to drop an Elder Guardian or Shaper Guardian map. And Vivid Memories, plus 2% chance for a synthesized map to drop from final map boss in each map. And when it comes to the altars, I personally like the Searing Exarch this league, but if you do not like it, you can of course spec into Eater of Worlds. I decided to go for the Light of Dawn. 50% chance to spawn a Searing Exarch altar when the influence of the Searing Exarch first appears in your maps. Baptized by Fire, your maps have 10% chance to award double progress towards encountering the Searing Exarch. And of course, Word of the Exarch, Eldritch Ambers found in your maps influenced by the Searing Exarch have a 10% chance to be duplicated. Monster packs influenced by the Searing Exarch in your maps have 2% chance to contain an additional possessing Flame Brave. And Wrath of the Cosmos, Eldritch Altars influenced by the Searing Exarch have 50% chance to have an additional upside. Eldritch Altars influenced by the Searing Exarch, which have an additional upside, have 100% increased effect of downsides. And the last nodes that I decided to spec into are the map nodes. invasive adversaries. Your maps contain 10% more monster packs consisting of difficult and rewarding monsters. And of course, Chiseled Perfection, 3% increased effect of expert modifiers on your maps per 5% map quality. One thing that I wanted to mention, if you want to go a bit more into the necropolis mechanics, back a bit more into it, Imperial Raves, haunted modifiers in the Lantern of Arimor are a tier higher, is a pretty good note, and Devote Pursuit, 30% increased effect of devoted modifiers on monsters in your maps should definitely be considered if you like the league mechanic and you want to have a bit more invested into it. But for me, that is totally fine as it is. So yeah, that is the Atlas tree. Okay, let me show you an extra run. To complement the Atlas tree, I decided to go for these 4 Scarabs. Domination Scarab area contains 2 additional shrines in combination with the Domination Scarab of Terrors. Shrines in area are guarded by an Atlas boss. Modifiers to the final map boss also apply to these Atlas bosses. This is a pretty good combination in general and will help us to acquire a lot more Elderslayer / Guardian / synthesized maps. I combined this with influencing Scarabs of Conversion. Tier 14 plus maps found in area have a chance to drop as Shaper Guardian, Elder Guardian, Conqueror, or unique synthesized maps instead, which is pretty nice. And my last Scarab is the Scarab of Monstrous Lineage, 40% increased magic pack size. What I usually take on the map device is Domination, of course. Area contains 3 additional shrines, which means you will get a lot of more magic monsters and a lot more bosses. The map that I currently have favorized is the Canyon map. I like the map because of the layout and that it has 2 bosses, but you will run a lot of different maps anyway with this strategy, because not every Elderslayer or Guardian map will be the Canyon map, so it doesn't matter too much. Just favorize a map that you enjoy and be ready to run other maps as well. Of course, we will take the Searing Exarch here, and sometimes, obviously, if we want to get the invitations, we go for the Maven instead. So yeah, I have a tier 16 Atoll map with 75% quantity. Before I start the run, the total cost of all of this is 21 Chaos Orbs. We pay 12C for the Domination Scarab of Terrors. We pay roughly 2 Chaos Orbs for the Influencing Scarab of Conversion. We pay 3C for the Domination Scarab. And we pay 2C for the Scarab of Monstrous Lineage. And roughly 2 Chaos Orbs for the Chiseled. The map is self-farmed, so I did not include that in the total calculation. So we roughly pay 21 Chaos Orbs per run. So as you can see here, this is all pretty straightforward. Nothing special. 30% chance to be upgraded to magic. Yeah, I will not replace anything. I'm just gonna run this one as it is. And yeah, let's go.
Exalted orb, an exhilarating sensation of victory. If only for a feat. Low on mine.
Local, come here. Try to go as far as you can with the detonation cord. Further! Keep going! Away from me. All placed. I should also mention... This might unearth monsters. You can take him. Go get him, local! You did it! You did it! it. Most of the locals I grabbed for this job don't last long.
Exalted orb, an exhilarating sensation of victory. Exalted orb, an exhilarating sensation of victory. If only.
Okay, that is basically the run. As you can see, we got a decent amount of corpses, decent amount of Scarabs. We got a couple of Elderslayer / Guardian maps, some unique maps, a couple of divination cards, 36 Chaos Orbs, some Gem Cutters Prisms. The amount of All Flames was a bit underwhelming, but this run isn't cherry-picked. I'm just trying to show you a average run roughly, but for that I think it's pretty good. The intention of this tree is not to maximize the divines per hour that you can make, but rather to give you a stable income while giving you the Guardian / Elderslayer map so that you can farm the bosses and make some currency on the side. And you will also interact a decent amount with the new league mechanics. So if you like this tree, give it a shot. I personally like it. I'm playing a boss killer build, so it definitely favors me. I'm really interested what you guys think about this tree, so let me know in the comment section below. Alright, I hope you guys found this video informative, and I would hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day, guys. Goodbye.